Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's another beautiful Saturday, and it's time for yet another episode of Solo Leveling Ragnarok. Let's go ahead and begin, shall we? Yo, peoples! Qushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of Solo Leveling Ragnarok. In the last chapter, we had Lee Sung finally running into Suho, who began to question him about the Apostle of Itarim and everything concerning it. Of course, Lee Sung is already trying to run away and wants nothing to do with the Hunters Association, wants nothing to do with the Apostle of Itarim, who he refers to as an alien, and wants to try and pit Suho and himself against the Apostle. So, while that happens, Park Dojin, the literal Apostle of Itarim, decides, you know what? I can't have you revealing too much. Oh, wait, that's the masked hunter I've been trying to find this entire time. Sorry, I was actually working on something very important, taking care of the boys and also doing some other things. So apologies for the short delay right there. And I don't know why it say I'm dropping frames. It's really weird. It's really weird how it says I'm dropping frames. My network is fine. I literally just restarted my laptop. Hybrid, you say... What the? Buffering? Yeah, I'm seeing that too. I'm seeing that too. It's weird. Hold on, let me refresh. Let me refresh. I didn't even do anything. I didn't even do anything. I just started my stream and that was it. I ain't got nothing else going on. That is so weird. Can you guys see me? Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, everything cool? Everything cool? That's so weird. That's so weird. How my network decides to act up right when I'm trying to entertain all of you. And the frames just continue to drop. It's weird. It's okay now? See, I don't understand why OBS is messing up for me. Oh, okay, never mind. It's gone green. Okay. When it gives me the little bars at the bottom that says, hey, it's in the red, that gives me cause for concern. Because your viewer experience is way more important. So I want to make sure everything is buttery smooth for all of you. Even though it keeps saying that I'm dropping frames. Yeah, there it is. This is so weird. As long as you guys can hear me. As long as you guys can hear me, I believe that's all that really matters. Hold on. Let me try something. Let me try something. All right. All right, I think we should be good. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that frames were good, and now it's saying it's dropping them again. Hold on. Maybe I need to scale this back, actually. I haven't done anything all day. I am so sorry. You guys are here for a reaction, and now you're having to see me go through technical difficulties. I am so sorry for this. Are you stable now? Can I read? OBS, can I read now? Apparently not. I was just trying to read through. I was just trying to read through the intro and everything. As long as you guys can hear me, that's all that really matters. Okay. So, Suho ran into Lee Min Sung and yada yada yada. I went through all that already. But Suho ran into Lee Min Sung, wants to get some questions, some answers for the questions he has about the Apostle of Itarim and everything else that concerns the Apostle of Itarim. And Lee Min Sung is trying to get away from the Hunters Association and basically everyone else. And before and he's also trying to take out Suho as well. So when that happens, Park Dojin, aka the Apostle of Itarim, decides to take control of Lee Min Sung's body directly, like forcing his body through this transformation that completely changes his visage, as Park Dojin basically is remote controlling Lee Min Sung and intends to fight Suho. So now we get to see just how strong Suho actually is versus an individual who's being fully empowered and taken control of by an Apostle of Itarim. What in the world? I reduced the bit rate and it still continues to falter. Once again, I am so sorry for the inconvenience, everyone. I haven't had a problem out of this lately. So this is very odd to me. Are you stable now? Can I read for the people? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, we're just going to move on. We're just going to continue. So let me know if there's any, like, you know what? I'm going to have chat up to the side. Let me know if it stutters and buffers. Let me know. So that way, if I have to reread lines, then we can go ahead and get started on that. All right, we're just going to keep moving. We're just going to keep moving. But yeah, now we have Park Dojin going up against Suho, who's controlling it as he's controlling Lee Min Sung's body. Episode 39. Sorry it took so long to get to this point because the internet wants to be wonky right now for some reason. Episode 39. And Park has basically changed the entirety of Lee Min Sung's body. He's given him wings. He's got like talon-like feet and like these gold-looking adornments going across his body. And he's changed Min Sung Lee's sword, going, "I've been wanting to meet you too, masked hunter." And then Suho was thinking, is this still Lee Min Sung? He sounds different. Are you the apostle that was sent here by some other realm god? I see that you already know about us. That's right. I am here to claim this world in the name of our god. As he points his sword directly towards Suho. So guys like him are the reason why my dad can't come back home. It's finally great to meet you, as Suho brandishes the Vulcan gauntlets and prepares to fight him. Then we get someone with long hair walk. Oh, it's Lim Tae-gyu! Oh, I forgot Lim Tae-gyu is here! I've completely forgotten Lim Tae-gyu is here! Stop right there. And then there's a rumbling, just this overwhelming feeling of pressure. Neither of you are allowed to move another inch without my permission. Both, Lee's body is stationary and immobilized, and so is Suho. No funny business, unless you want me to rip you to shreds. And it shows Lim just brandishing his bow, already aiming at either one of them. What's happened to you, Lee Min-sung? What the heck have you gotten yourself into? And Lim has this very, very incredibly serious look on his face. It's Lim Tae-kyu, the S-rank hunter. And Park, in control of Lee's body, doesn't say anything. Looks like we won't be getting any talking done here. I'll be waiting at the highest peak in this area, masked hunter. As Park controls Lee's body as he's preparing to literally leave. Where do you think you're going, Min-sung? I told you, no one's allowed to move without my permission! And then he fires his arrow directly. At Lee. And while this arrow's flying towards him, Lee looks at it. Well, Lee Park looks at it. And then proceeds to literally just dodge out of the way. He just turns around with this smug look on his face. Yeah, he just spins around, and I think he spins around Suho. And then proceeds to fly in the air while Lee is preparing more arrows. And he prepares like 3 arrows at once, and then fires them. And, okay, so here's the thing. The force of these arrows are literally kicking up the ground from the amount of power that Lim has. And I understand how his arrows work. His arrows function like Darkseid's Omega Beams, where they keep going until they hit their mark. So that they don't just fly forward, they turn and curve in order to hit their target. And Park is using Lee's body to basically dodge all of these, just dodging all of them. And Suho is also having to dodge as well, because, he's kind of really caught up in the crossfire. And then he goes, darn, Lim Tae-kyu must be after Lee Min-sung as well. Aren't you going to fight back, young master? No, I could tell from the way he was talking that has nothing to do with the Apostle of Itarim. Besides, I'm pretty sure Lim Tae-kyu is not using his full power on us yet. These brats are all dodging all my arrows like it's some sort of game. Bringing down Lee Min-sung should be my first priority. There's no need to get distracted by the other one. And Lim starts charging up his bow even more. And then there's a gleam from his eye. I was hoping to capture you without hurting you, but maybe that was too much to ask for, Min-sung. And the Apostle, yo, what's going on, High Dragon? The Apostle just stops listening. I'm sensing a deadly level of mana. And then there's a rustle. There's a rustle behind Lim Tae-kyu. And Lim immediately aims at the sound, and it's a shadow goblin. It's one of Suho's shadow goblins. And the shadow goblin's just going like, oh! And it's whimpering with tears in its eyes. What's a goblin doing out here? Oh, crap! And then he turns around, and both Suho and Lee Min-sung, powered up Lee, are both gone. And so is the goblin as soon as Lim turns his back. Everybody's gone. But the entire area that they've been in has been cleared of trees because Lim's arrows have basically caused a small minor area of effect of deforestation. Darn it. Li Min-sung. What the heck are you up to? And then a phone starts ringing and someone immediately grabs it. And it's Wu! I see. So Li Min-sung got away. My apologies, Chairman Wu. It's my fault for being careless. I don't know if it's because of the drugs he was on, but he didn't seem normal. And there was another hunter with him. He was with a hunter wearing a black mask. And that's when Choi immediately remembers that Suho was at the airport, because that gets his attention. That masked hunter, did he specialize in hand-to-hand combat? How'd you guess? And that's when Wu hears Choi going, the hunter I saw at the airport during that dungeon break was wearing a black mask too. He was holding back the hordes of monsters by himself with some shadowy familiars. Shadowy familiars? Like Sung Jin-woo's. And that's Wu thinking of the best boy! Igris! Igris! Does this mean that Sung Jin-woo has returned? No, it can't be him. Sung Jin-woo would have neutralized this situation in an instant. What the? What in the world? Huh? What in the world? The heck is going on with the internet today? How you gonna make people think that my stream just ended? The heck? What is this? The heck is going on? All right, let's go back to where I left off. But Wu was basically saying, don't worry, the footage is still there. It's just weird. Suho's aura is causing it to crash. Suho, can I at least read to those who are watching? Can you just let me have that? I gotta exit out of this on my phone in order to get it back to where it was. Okay, this is so weird. Why does this gotta happen to me today? It's such a nice day outside. But going back, the hunter I saw at the airport during that dungeon break was wearing a black mask too. He was holding back the hordes of monsters by himself with some shadowy familiars. And Wu is thinking back to those same familiars, including your boy Igris. Shadowy familiars? Like Sung Jin-woo's? Does this mean that Sung Jin-woo has returned? No, it can't be him. Sung Jin-woo would have neutralized this situation in an instant. Then could it be? And we get to the high... Yup, stopped again? Great. That's fantastic. What in the world is happening? Had to refresh? You should not have to keep refreshing. I honestly feel like this is not This has got to be an OBS issue because it still keeps saying that I'm dropping frames even though the stream is doing well. Even though the stream is stable, it's still saying it's dropping frames. This is so weird. All right, getting back to it. But Wu says, no, it can't be him. Sung Jinwoo would have neutralized the situation in an instant. Then, could it be? And then we get to what appears to be this very large mountain. And someone steps on top of the mountain. And it's Suho. Because Lee Min-sung's still-controlled body is waiting for him. Ooh, what a shot! And we get Suho walking up towards him while the apostle controlling Lee's body is standing on a much higher rise. It's over, Anakin, I have the high ground. And he's basically standing on top of this short mound above him, just smiling. And he points his sword at Suho. I didn't expect you to help me out back there. And Suho is still walking, noting that his clothes are starting to look more and more like his father's. More and more black he starts to pile on. Only because I knew you'd just abandon Lee Min-sung's body and disappear if it got too dangerous. The demons told me that the darkness is known as the Shadow Monarch in this world. What is your relation to the Shadow Monarch? You sure seem curious about me. Too bad I've got no incentive to answer any of your questions, because I can get all the information I need from you, even after I smash you into pieces. Be careful, young master. Ever since the Apostle of Itarim took over Lee Min-sung's body, I can't seem to get an accurate read on his actual power levels. Don't worry, Baru. I've been preparing for this moment, you know. Arise. Oh! Oh! And just like his dad, a giant shadow shoots out from behind him, and we see the many eyes of those that follow Suho behind him. And then Park Dojin smiles. This confirms it. This is the same power that the darkness used. And we see all these different creatures that served Suho. Ooh, and we get the names for some of them. King of the Swamp, Blue Venom Fang Kasaka, rank common. Poison Tooth Giant Desert Centipede, rank common. High Troll, rank common. Oh, and he turned Psyka, the Guardian of the Tomb, rank elite. I've been saving up all these monsters just for this day. Bring it on, you and me, right here, right now. And it also shows Essel, and he activates the bond skill with Gray. And Suho has the most serious look on his face. He's got his mask on. His eyes are blazing and shining white. He's got his hair slicked back because he's with the bond skill of Gray. And Park Dojin, in control of Lee's body, is just smiling maniacally, almost akin to the architects from the original story. And that's a to be continued. Okay. And that's where the story ends. So, firstly, apologies for all the technical difficulties. It's quite annoying when that happens, but I'm grateful you guys have all been tuning in for it. But now we have reached the moment where Suho is about to go up against an Apostle of Itarim. He's pulling out all the stops. We got Kasaka, we got Saika, we got all of these high-grade monsters that he's been apparently saving for this specific moment. And now he gets to fight an Apostle of Itarim. And we get to see if all the training that Amut has been given him actually pays off. Not only that, but we also got to see a little bit of display of power from Lim Tae-gyu with him using his bow and arrow. And I have to say, in a world where you have magic users that can buffer it a little from time to time, yeah, it did, but it's still annoying that it was buffering for you guys at all, which means that either OBS needs an update, or there might be some settings that I need to configure in order to make the next reading better for you guys. Like I said, apologies, you guys literally deserve the absolute best, and there is no excuse for that. Because, I mean, you guys support me all the time, so the least I can do is make sure that your viewing experience isn't interrupted. But we got to see Liam take you and a little bit of his power, and I have to say, when it comes to bow users in a world where people can use magic and they essentially can nuke an entire area, I have to say, being a bow user that is also an S-rank bow user, you gotta be pretty strong with just being able to fire arrows that also can track your target. You gotta be crazy strong in order to pull that off. Cause you see these types of characters all the time. Legolas, Hawkeye, all different types of characters that use a bow that can stand toe-to-toe with people that either have superpowers or just supernatural powers. So that always sticks out to me. Sure, you can have rank-and-file sword users or shield user tanks or people who just use their bare hands, but there's something about a bow and arrow that just seems like if you can make it as an S rank and you're seen as one of the strongest hunters just because, and you use a bow, which takes time, okay? You gotta be fast with a bow. You gotta be accurate with a bow. But probably not for Lim Tae-gyu since his shots can track his targets down. But so we got a little display there. But the main thing is, the Apostle now sees the power of darkness. And I feel like we're really going to see what Suho can do. And I'm happy about it, because I thought we were going to get it in this chapter. I'm going to be honest. I thought when Suho ran into the Apostle of Itarim, I thought we were... There we go. All right, it's back up. It's back up. It's so weird how it keeps... Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. What are you even talking about? If I go in here, 4 seconds or less, it's at 3. It's at 3. What are you even talking about? What is this thing talking about? I don't know why it's saying please use a reduced keyframe when I haven't changed those settings at all. All I've done is increase the bit rate, and I brought it right back down to where it used to be. Going back to it, I honestly thought that we were going to get a fight between Suho and Lee Min-sung here today. Empowered Lee Min-sung. I thought that's what we were going to get today. So when Lim Tae-gyu showed up, I felt like, oh, so this is going to get delayed then. And seeing as how Suho ended this chapter with him standing face to face with the Apostle, I can pretty much hope that the next chapter will just be centered on him and his squad fighting Empowered Lee. But also, the Hunters Association is becoming aware of the Masked Hunter, because of Lim Tae-gyu's description, Choi Jong-in chimed in, and this is also alerting Woo. And since Choi has also noted the shadowy soldiers that Suho has with him, it's only a matter of time before, Woo starts to think like, does he have the same power as his father? Because Woo knows that Suho is the Masked Hunter. At this point, it should be obvious to him. But who knows what's going to happen on the Hunter side, on the Hunters Association side, once this information, fully realizes within Woo. And I wonder if Jin-Oh is going to have any say in this due to the fact that, his Jin's son is doing the same kind of dangerous nonsense that Jin was doing back then. But the most important thing here is that Suho is now officially preparing to fight this Apostle of Itarim, who is still remote controlling Lee Min-sung, mind you. Like, Park Do-jin is off in some other location by himself, but Lee is still his puppet. This reminds me of like Doflamingo controlling as all these hundreds upon thousands of people in Dressrosa, and he was just chilling outside of the city, just watching it all unfold. So Park Dojin's range is kind of ridiculous, but at least we know. At least we got a reminder of why he's here. He's here to claim this world for the god of the universe that he comes from, the realm he comes from. So should be an interesting fight. Like I said, too long didn't read. Suho is about to face off against this apostle of Itarim with who's using empowered Lee. Let's see if Suho can stand up to Lee, who's being pretty much overtaken and completely empowered by Park separately. So we'll have to see in the next chapter. Overall, I did like this one because we got some displays of power of Lee while he's being controlled, and we also got to see that Suho is capable of basically dodging an S-rank hunter. Let's not overlook that. Suho was capable of dodging all of Lim Tae-gyu's shots, which have a considerable amount of power behind them due to Lim Tae-gyu being an S-rank hunter. I'm just double checking, making sure we're good. I know for a fact I gotta look into this and figure out what's going on, because if I'm going to be showing and playing Oblivion a little bit later on, I want to make sure everything is working for everybody. But this was a good chapter, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Yeah, I want to make sure that the stream is good for right now. Apologies once again for all the technical difficulties. I don't know if there's something happening out there in the neighborhood, if we're facing like a power outage or whatever, but apologies for the inconvenience, for the buffering and the weird chops in the stream. It's not going to be there once this turns into a VOD, but thank you for understanding while we go through this. It doesn't happen all the time, but it just tends to happen. So I was just double checking, but yeah. Overall, I enjoyed this chapter, and I'm looking forward to the next one. All I can say to you is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking to, and because I know you're coming back anyway. So have a fantastic day. Once again, as always, later, peoples!